Hello. Have you ever asked yourself the question before, do you know who you are? Or what if I was to ask you that question another way? Who are you? How would you truly answer it? Most immediately would likely answer, I am Joe or I am Sue, while others would likely say, I'm an American or I'm Pakistani. Folks, in giving responses such as these, by just rendering your name, describing your nationality or where you come from, does that accurately describe who you really are? Do you know who you are? Well, if you'd like to hear the answer to this question, then stick around. The answer will be coming right up right after this. I'd like to welcome you today to our new YouTube channel titled Diggin In The Word. Diggin In The Word is a Bible answer channel designed to give sound reasoned biblical answers to whatever questions you, the viewer, may have in life that are filled with principles and are practical in applying to everyday living. I have a few more things I got to say before we get into today's answering of our question for the day. I got two lovely people, beautiful people that are very important to me in my life that I need to introduce and thank actually for today's subject matter. First off, I want to thank my beautiful wife, who's actually sitting right next to me, Kathleen. I just want to introduce her to everyone, and I thank her for today's subject matter. She's the one that actually suggested the question, do you know who you are? So, want to say something to everyone?
Hi, Bible diggers. How are you?
And this is Trinity in the back. Hi, Trinity.
Hi.
Yeah, that's my beautiful daughter, my baby. Love you. All right. So we're signing back out. We're going to go right on back to the studio so that you can finish watching today's video upload. Thank you. Today's video is actually the first episode of our second series where we'll be digging into the Word over in the book of Psalms, the 139th chapter, to answer the titled question, do you know who you are? In chapter 139, verses 1 through 6, it is written by David to the choir master to be sang in the congregation of Israel. Now, to dig deeply into this, we'll be reading from the passage verse by verse, starting from the very first verse. And it reads, O Lord, you have searched me and known me. Bible diggers, at this stage of his life, Israel's second king, which happens to be at the latter end of his life when he wrote this particular passage. It was after going through the years of treasonous betrayals by those close to him and failures of his own, amid the countless great successes as an accomplished battle warrior. David was forced to consider the question in his own life, I'm sure many times, of who he was in relation to God. Therefore, this text, Bible diggers, reveals how David saw the reality of who he was while ever being in the confines of how big God is. He uses the verb in you search me. It is to search me through, to explore and examine me. And in this verse, this verb is used in the past tense, meaning at the time of the writing of this psalm, God at any given time searched me, exploring and examining me. Then David said, you have known me, the Hebrew word yada, which simply is how we would use the word know. And it is used in the past tense as well. So when we put these two terms together in light of this verse, we learn that God has examined and explored us through to where he already fully knows us completely. God knows who we are individually because he has already searched each one of us through and through perfectly. At any moment of our lives, he ever already knows who we are perfectly. Therefore, we can rest in the fact that when it comes to what there is to know about us, friends, God already knows it all. And furthermore, When it comes to discovering the identity of who we are, Bible diggers, we must recognize that we were created to be known fully and perfectly by a God who has insight to knowing everything there is to know about who we are. And if we want to learn who we are, it is so important and it's so vital that we look to God as babies will look to their parents to know who they are. Before I go any further, if you like this particular channel, you like this content, and you like to see more of this, then why don't you just go on down to the bottom of the screen to your left hand side and click the subscribe button. And then go on over to the right hand side of the screen and click the notification icon. And make sure you see that ringing symbol around the icon. That lets you know that whenever I upload any future content, you will not miss anything. Why? Because YouTube will send you an email or a notification in your YouTube account that a new video has been uploaded from Digging in the Word. Why? Because we don't want you to miss anything. We intend on filling this channel up with so much content which provide answers for problems that we have in dealing with everyday living. And we do not want you to miss anything. Thank you. Yes, a knowing or insight that we do not even yet have ourselves, because in this life we are ever learning and never able to fully know all there is to know about who we are. That's why as babies we start off by asking the question, who are we? Then as adults, in our pursuit and search of identity, esteem, happiness, purpose, or self-mastery, we find ourselves ever in the realm of trying to learn more and more of who we really are in life. That means if we can never fully know ourselves perfectly or completely, while on the other hand there is one who does, then we should always start first by consulting God, who has primary yada, knowledge of whatever there is that can be known about who we are. Such knowledge is received by our first being known by God, then we can know ourselves, then eventually from there we can begin to know one another. Yes, we are designed to be in want of being known, meaning although this is not to take shots at anyone, we need not consult a Dr. Phil, an Iyanla Van Zant, or none of the televangelists. Why? Because we all have been created to be known fully by the one who does, and that is the Creator himself.